Hello and welcome back to Pop-Up Sports. Today we're going to talk about 10 Major League Baseball records that will never, I repeat, never be broken. And before I go on, I know there's like 20 more I could have put on this list. So why didn't you put on this one? It's because we don't want it to be an hour and a half video. So let's get into our top 10 records in Major League Baseball that will never be broken. Starting with number 10, the single season stolen base record. 130 stolen bases in one season in 1982 by none other than Rickey Henderson. And the reason this record will never be broken is because stolen bases aren't as important or as used. It's more of like, hey, get on base and have the guys hit a home run. It's large ball, not small ball, because you just don't see guys stealing bases at a high rate anymore. So that's why I'm putting it on there. Number 10, Rickey Henderson, 130 stolen bases in one season. If you disagree with me, put in the comment section. I'm telling you right now, it will never be broken. Number 9, Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. Yes, it's an amazing accomplishment. Did it in 1941. The closest anyone else has gotten to it was Pete Rose in 1978. True fact, I had tickets for the San Diego Padres-Cincinnati Red game because I bought it because that would have been the 56th game. But he didn't make it. I think it was the Atlanta Braves stopped him. But there's several factors on why it'll never be broken. First, the African-American players weren't allowed to play back then. It was not until 1947 when Jackie Robinson broke into baseball. So you didn't have the best of the best playing. Today you have the best of the best. The bullpen is a different situation. You have fresh arms. Now you have people coming in the 6th, 7th, 8th. So you have specialists that come in with fresh arms. So you're not facing that tired old pitcher who's thrown 150 pitches, so you have more of a chance to get a base hit. Also, the technology today, you see it with the shift, where you have players in certain positions because that guy, his tendency is to hit the ball to that side of the field or in that area. So you have technology today is going to keep the record safe. So yeah, there's some other factors, but right now, those are the 3 major factors I came up with. But Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak is number 9 and will never be broken. Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak, 2,633 games. Yeah, it's never going to happen. You have players taking time off this season to be fresh, to stay fresh. This season's only 60 games. So you think anyone's going to go play 162 games that many years in a row to break the record? It's just not going to happen at the end. So yeah, that record is safe forever, Cal. You'll always have that record, and that was number 8. Next up, you have number 7. You have Ty Cobb with a lifetime batting average of 367. You think about that. A lifetime batting average of 367. Now, Ty Cobb, not a good guy, but he was a great player. But there's several reasons why this record will never be broken. A lot, you can look at Joe DiMaggio. Again, the African-American players weren't playing, so you didn't have the best of the best. The bullpen situation, he was facing pitchers that might be throwing 140, 150 pitches. There was no pitch count. They were just pitching. So you didn't have fresh arms coming in. And also, you didn't have the technology. Again, the technology is amazing when you look at the shift. And I'm going to talk about the shift probably next week because I know a lot of people don't like it. Number 6, the New York Yankees competing in 15 World Series in 18 years. Yes, from 1947 to 1964, the New York Yankees were in the World Series 15 times of the 18 years. Now, a lot of reasons why it's never going to happen again. I mean, you think about it, that's an amazing accomplishment. But that was before the draft, the amateur draft, before 1965 when the draft started. Amateur players could go to the highest bidder. They tried to change that in 1947, but some of the teams went around the rules. In fact, the Kansas City Athletics were accused of being the Yankees minor league system because they would get the players and then trade the players to the Yankees after a couple of years. The bonus babies and stuff like that. But that was it. That's a major factor on why, because you have the draft. You look at the draft, started in 1965. Free agency, I think, started in 1974. How many World Series did the Yankees win between that time? So that is a huge factor on why no one will ever beat that record. And I just think there's more teams that are competitive now. You have the Dodgers spend a lot of money. The Cardinals are always competitive. Number 5, we have Nolan Ryan's 5,714 career strikeouts. Yeah, this record won't be touched. There's just no way. Pitchers don't pitch enough now. They pitch maybe 32 games a season. They don't have enough innings. The quality start, I think, is 6 innings now. They're just not going to have enough innings pitched to even come close to this record. Plus, you got to go 22, 23 years in your career. I think Nolan Ryan was still pitching in the high 90s at 44 years old. So he's a freak of nature. So you're safe, Nolan. Don't worry about it. You can go to bed tonight knowing that your record is safe. All right, number 4, most wins by a pitcher in a single season. Now we go all the way back to 1884, by old Hoss Redburn with 59 wins for the Boston Red Sox in 1884. There, I said it correct this time. Now the modern day record is 41 in 1904. That's the modern day record for Jack Chesborough. So Jack Chesborough had 41 wins in 1904. So that's the modern day record. But the overall record is in 1884, Hoss Redburn, 59 wins. Now that's a career for some people. So anyway, can you imagine if someone had 59 wins this time? How much would you have to pay that pitcher? Does he get like $1 billion a year if he had 59 wins in a season? And most pitchers, let's face it, they don't come close to pitching that many games in a season anymore. So there you go. There's your modern day record and your old time record that will never be broken. Okay, number 3, complete games by a pitcher in one season. Now, Will White in 1879 had 75 complete games. Think about that. 75 complete games. Have we had 75 complete games in Major League Baseball in the last 10 years? I mean, think about it. Have we? We probably have, but I didn't do the research. But yeah, in 1879, Will White, remember that name, had 75 complete games. The modern day record, going back to Jack Chesborough, he had 48 in 1904. So the year he won 41 games. He also completed 48 of those games. Can you imagine being a reliever back then? Thinking, do I even need to show up to the ballpark? Okay, number 2, most triples in a career. And Sam Crawford had 309 triples for his career. You're thinking, that's not a lot. I think that could be done. Someone could beat that. Well, I looked at the modern day players, and the closest anyone's gotten is Willie Wilson, who had a career total triples of 147. He retired in 1994. Now, there you go. And that record will never be broken. The number 1 record that will never, ever be broken. There's just no chance this record will be broken, ever. And Cy Young, with most wins, he had 511 wins. They should give an award after this guy. 511 wins. Come on. If someone gets to 300 nowadays, it's going to be hard for pitchers to get to 300 wins. Now, that used to be the plateau of a pitcher. Oh, he got to 300 wins. I don't see that happening a lot because, again, pitchers don't pitch that much. If you win 15, 16 games in a season, that's a great season. It used to be you could win 23, 24, 25 games and still not win the Cy Young Award. So there you go. 511 wins for Cy Young, which will never, ever be broken. He also holds the record for most losses, 316. So he has more losses than a lot of people have wins. So there you go. There's our top 10 records that will never, ever be broken. Thanks for watching. I'm out. We'll be back next week. Bye.